Hello champions, I welcome you all to score 360 out of 360 in NEET Bio within 250 days. And today we are going to talk about the most famous thing, that is adaptive radiation. I think you might have studied about it earlier also. It is a quite interesting topic, or else we'll make it interesting, okay? And what did we cover in the previous session? So if you do not understand that, obviously you won't be understanding this also, okay? So we covered molecular homology, according to which it says that, okay, if I am there and an apes is there, if I see me and an apes, we look different for sure. For you, we might look same, but still, okay. So the genetic makeup, the DNA and everything has close resemblance, children. 95% of our DNA, everything is same. Okay, we have proteins being made by them and by me also, by my body also. So basically, molecular level, if I go, I see that there are similarities. That means both of us might have evolved from a common ancestor. So this is an evidence of evolution. This is an evidence of evolution, okay? Not humiliation, evolution, okay? Going ahead, we have natural selection, where the nature itself is selecting certain organism because of the varieties that they have. So you have white moth, you have dark moth, okay? The white moth won't be visible in white background because they are white, they will camouflage. But the black moth will be visible in the white background, yes, okay? So initially when the tree trunk and everything were white, the white moth was able to survive. The black moth could not make much use of it, okay? There were very less black moth because they were seen by the predators and they were eaten up. But after industrialization, the white trunks that you saw turned out to be black because there was no lichen being found. Lichen is association of algae and fungus which comes together to give lichen, and lichen is white in color, which is why the trunks were white in color. So whenever there is pollution, the lichen says, we cannot come together, I cannot be staying over here. So basically the tree trunks turned out to be black because of smoke and things like that, and because of the lack of lichens as well. So at this point of time, this guy said, it's my time, black background is there, I am also black, so it's all cool, I'll camouflage, this time you will be caught. So this time nature selected this particular guy. So this is natural selection, and we saw how evolution has happened over there. How evolution has happened over there, variations were there. The gene which was most found initially was this forms gene, but later this black moth's gene were found, okay? So there is a change in the gene pool, there's a change in the type and the number of genes over there. So this is a type of evolution that is seen, and this is an evidence of evolution. Now this same thing is known as industrial melanism, because you're talking about color. Melanin is a pigment that helps us to determine the color of our skin. Okay, now we spoke about artificial selection also, where artificial selection basically means the nature, yes, obviously it has to do its part, but it's mostly us. We are involving over there for evolution. For example, we had wolves initially, okay, and certain wolves were papa wolves, so we took those wolves and crossbred them, and then we had wolves, something that we could domesticate. Not all type of wolves are domesticable, right? Obviously others would eat us, but there were some which we chose. They were all papa wolves, so we bred them, and then we have got different animals, and that's how the dogs came. So this is an evolution that happened, but over here we human beings also contributed to it. So this is artificial selection. So artificially I selected those guys, and now I have different type of organisms being formed over there. So that is artificial selection. Nature does not have to do too many things over there, but yes, obviously nature's role is there, okay? Nature's role will be there. This organism that I have formed should be able to survive. This organism that I have formed should be giving rise to different other species also. So yes, nature's role is there, but primarily my role is there, which is why artificial selection is there, okay? Now we studied this. I have repeated so very quickly because you know, right? We have studied all of this in the previous session. So if you want to see the previous session, children, you can go and watch that. And if you want the PDF of the same, my dear little children, you have the WhatsApp channel. Please join there. You will get the PDF of the class. Yeah. Going ahead, the number of questions coming from this chapter is 4. So 4 into 4, 16. So previous year it was 4. It can be more, or it can be less, or it can be just same like that. Cool. Now I remember I gave my little cuties a homework. Let's see who all got it correct. Thorn of bougainvillea and tendril of cucurbitae are examples of. So bougainvillea, you know that pink flowers, it looks so nice, okay, so pretty. So over here what happens is that they have thorns. This structure that you see is thorns, and this is what? Bougainvillea plant. Now on the other hand, there will be another plant, but over here, okay, over here they have tendril instead of thorn. So if you see, the place of origin is same. Thorn is here, the tendril is over here. And this place of origin in a normal plant, is the axillary bud. Is what, children? The axillary bud. So the axillary bud have evolved to form this, because both of them are in different habitats. Probably this guy needs support, which is why it has formed tendrils. This guy needs protection, which is why it might have formed thorns. Okay, so basically over here the axillary bud, so same origin is there, but they are going into different directions. This is an example of divergent evolution. Now these organs which do not have the same functions, but have the same anatomical features, that is, it was originated from the axillary bud. These structures you call it as homologous structures or homologous organs, my dear children. So this is the correct answer. Okay, I hope you got it correct. Going ahead, let's start with adaptive radiation in Darwin's finches. So you have to imagine me as Darwin. I know it's difficult to imagine me as Darwin, but still. So I as Darwin was moving around in my big sheep, cruise, whatever is there, ship, yeah, Beagle was its name. I'm not telling the full name and all. Anyways, so yes, I was going on a world voyage because I was very much interested in environment and everything. And then I reached near to South America. So if I have South America over here, near to it, I found a very pretty island, my dear children. I called it Galapagos Island. Okay, the moment I reached there, I saw a type of bird. Okay, and I liked it so much, so I called it Darwin's finches. Okay, what did I call it? Darwin's finches. Now, finches means there were so many birds. So when I was in the middle, I saw a type of bird. Then I moved around a little bit in a different area. I found there were cacti plant and everything. So there, the birds were there, which had very close resemblance to the finches that I saw earlier. But the beak type and everything was different. That's the most prominent difference that it had. Then I moved ahead. I went to other areas where there were so many insects. There I found similar type of birds, but again their beak structure was kind of different. Then I moved to a different area again, and I found the area as having different things. So here I had cacti, there I had so many insects, there I had something else, and I went there and I found that okay, there were other type of birds. I mean, like, they had very close similarity to this, just the beak part and everything is different. So I found that when I closely took all of them and I saw that okay, this is some issues there. My head is not spinning, there is some issue over here, something might have happened over here. Then I went on my research, doing my research, and then I found that basically something that is known as adaptive radiation has happened over here. That means, for example, if this is the Galapagos Island, my dear children, okay, and this was the area where initially I found the birds, and I found that they were all seed-eating finches. Okay, they were all feeding on seeds. They were seed-eating finches. And then I moved to other area where I saw that there were cute little cacti. Okay, and the same bird was found over there. The same bird was found over there, but with a different face. I know it does not look like a cute little bird, but yes. Okay, then I went to this side. I found that there were small little insects. And feeding on these insects were the cute birds that I was talking about, again with a different type of beak. So everyone had different type of beaks. Then I moved to this side. Again I found different organism. Here also I went. Here also I found different organism. Remember, everything is happening where, children? Galapagos Island. So I got to understand one thing, that probably the normal type, the actual type, no, I won't say normal, the actual type of the finches were like this. They were seed eating, they were fond of seeds. And some of them, obviously, you know, mutations and everything happens. So some variations will be happening. And these birds, while they are flying, they went off to this area. Now, imagine 10 of them went. There. Okay. Out of that 10, 2 of them had a different beak. So until now they were here. But then when they went there, they were able to find that these 2 birds which were there, they were able to properly feed on the cactus because of the different type of beaks. Whereas the other birds, they were not able to feed properly, so they came back. But the 2 of them, they stayed there. The two of them, they stayed there. Now, two of them had the similar type of beaks. Two of them, they stayed there. They thought, why should I eat seed? It's not very possible for me. Anyways, I am different. So let me just stay here. So this moved away from the family, even though it was sad, but they moved away. Now you had two once, so they will breed, and now you have a species of finches which are feeding on cacti, my dear children. Again, something similar happened over here. Okay, here also 5 people went, not 5 people, 5 birds went. Out of that, 3 of them were like, that suits me better. I am liking to eat insects. My beak, I think it's good for eating insects. So they also had different type of beaks, not just like them. This is a different type of beaks and not like them also. So whole different type of beaks that were there. Again, this is an example of variation that happened. Mutations happened. Variation was caused. That is why they have different type of beaks, and that is why they are going to areas and we feeling very happy about it. Similarly, they also went. So if you see, all of them, they went to different areas in the same geographical area. That is, this area is same, that is Galapagos Island, but they moved in different direction, okay, and went there and got adapted there and got very well adapted to this particular area. And this is known as adaptive radiation. As in, some organisms are moving to all different directions or different directions and are getting adapted to that particular environment, because they have the features to get adapted to that particular environment. This is known as adaptive radiation. Now over here you see this is an example of divergent evolution as well. This same thing, I'm not saying all type of adaptive radiation, I'm talking about this is an example of divergent evolution also. Why do I say it's an example of divergent evolution, children? In divergent evolution, what is happening? A common ancestor is there. From there, different organisms are being made. Different organisms have been made. They have the structures, but do they have the same function? Do they have the same function? For example, 4 limbs of human beings, 4 limbs of cheetah, 4 limbs of human beings were used for having food. Yeah, we used it for that, for writing and everything. But do we run with this? Have you seen anyone running like this? No, cheetah does. So cheetah has the same type of 4 limb. They have humerus, radius and ulna just like us, but it is used for different functions. Similarly over here, it is used for eating insects, it is used for eating plants, it is used for eating seeds. So this is different. So this is why we say that this is example of divergent evolution as well. This adaptive radiation of Darwin's finches is an example of adaptive radiation of divergent evolution as well. Now over here you see, I brought a picture for you. So this is the common ancestor that they had with a cute little beak, and then they found large ground finch over here which feeds on seed. Okay, so in your NCERT textbook, the seed eating ones are the original forms. In your NCERT textbook, this is the ancestor that we are having. Okay, and then the cacti eating, the insect eating, all of them, if you see their beak is different. Okay, in your NCERT they have a different picture, that also works. But I hope you got this. Okay, do not be confused between divergent evolution and adaptive radiation. We can say adaptive radiation happens, which is why adaptive radiation happened, and this whole process is known as divergent evolution. Yeah, adaptive radiation has happened. They got adapted to that particular area. Now you have different species over there. Okay, you have different species of this particular bird over there. And this is an example of divergent evolution. We'll get to see the exact definition, and you might get things better. Okay, so during his journey, Darwin went to Galapagos. Okay, the spelling of Galapagos does not have an E. Okay, there he observed an amazing diversity of creatures of particular interest. Small black birds, later called as Darwin's finches, amazed him. He realized that there were many varieties of finches in the same island. All the varieties, he conjectured, evolved on the island itself. He got to know that it evolved in the island itself. It didn't come from anywhere else. Okay, from the original seed-eating features, many other forms with altered beaks arose, enabling them to become insectivorous and vegetarian finches. So vegetarian, the ones that were feeding on cacti, and insectivorous the ones that were feeding on insects. This process of evolution of different species, this is important. This process of evolution of different species in a given geographical area, it's in a geographical area, not in multiple areas. Please remember that very important thing. Okay, in a given geographical area, starting from a point and literally radiating to other areas of the geography, habitats are known as adaptive radiation. What is it? This process of evolution of what? Basically different species in a geographical area. They are starting from a point and they are quite literally radiating to different areas, and this will be a fast process, children. This is not a slow process. This is a fast process. So that's how you can differentiate between adaptive radiation and divergent evolution and things like that. Divergent evolution is a result of this. Okay, we say divergent evolution happened because this has happened, right? Now, Darwin's finches represent one of the best example of this phenomenon. Got it? Did you get it? Always remember, when you're talking about adaptive radiation, you're talking about a geographically isolated area, one geography, that's all. So Galapagos Island is the thing that you need to remember, and Darwin finches are Darwin's favorite. Okay, I hope you got it. Now, the story is not over. There is one more thing. You have to learn about the adaptive radiation in marsupials. So what are marsupials? Marsupials are mammals, my dear children. Okay, marsupials are mammals like your kangaroo and things like that. Okay, so how they are different from other mammals? So we have placental mammals also. Placental mammals as in us, who have a proper placenta for which helps the embryo grow properly. But in the case of marsupials, they do not have a proper placenta. Their placenta is weakened, which is why the kangaroo and all, if you have seen, they give birth in a premature way, and then that particular small kangaroo baby will be, you call it something different, okay, will be going into the pouch and completing its development thereafter there. Okay, so that is how we are different from them. So marsupials and placental mammals. Okay, I am writing it over here. Marsupials and placental mammals, okay, had a common ancestor somewhere. Had a common ancestor long back. Okay, this is long back, my dear children, but you have to remember that. Cool. Both of them, they're mammals. Both of them that you see over here are mammals. And now we are going to talk about the Australian marsupials. Okay, so another example is Australian marsupials. A number of marsupials, each different from other, evolved from an ancestral stock, but all within the Australian island continent. So again, we have, instead of Galapagos Island, we have another island, that is Australian Island. Okay, it's in Australia. Australian Island over here. What do we have, children? We have the marsupial. Okay, the ancestral marsupial. I don't know why marsupial. I wrote marsupial. Oh my god, marsupial. Okay, we had marsupials, the ancestral ones. They radiated to different areas over here in the same geography. Okay, and now you have got different type of marsupials. Over here we have an example. We have to know all these examples. Okay, we have Tasmanian wolf, we have tiger cat, we have banded anteater, we have marsupial rat, we have kangaroo, wombat, bandicoot, and koala, marsupial mole, and sugar glider. Okay, we have so many things. Now you have to remember at least two of them. Chalo, let's remember two. One, you take sugar glider as of now. Okay, sugar glider is there, and then one, let's take banded anteater. Okay, sugar glider and banded anteater, this were different forms. We'll write it somewhere. Chalo. Okay, sugar glider, which had something like this, which could fly also. Okay, and then you had banded anteater. Banded anteater. Okay, so I said marsupials were there, the common marsupials were there, and they radiated into different forms. This is an example of adaptive radiation. I agree to that. But now there's a twist to the story. Now I am saying that in the same area, there were placental mammals also. You know how they are different, right? They are different category. Over here you saw they are different category. So in this area itself, you had placental mammal. Okay, and they also did adaptive radiation. They also, my dear children, did adaptive radiation. So over here, okay, I'll make that. If this is the island again, okay, properly I'm going to write. So there is marsupial ancestor. And this ancestor is moving to different direction, forming different type of organisms within the same geographical area. Okay, one example is what glider? Sugar glider. sugar glider which had something like this which could make it fly, okay. And then we had banded anteater. Banded, it had so many bands on it and it was an anteater. Okay. Now I said same area, who is there? The next guy, the next bunch of people is there. So what do we have? We have placental mammals. Now we had placental mammals as well over here. Okay. They will also radiate. They will also, some of them will move to this area. Some 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 to this area. Now, how many adaptive radiations are you seeing over here? I think we are seeing 2. I think we are seeing 2 adaptive radiations. And now, okay, adaptive radiations happened. Now what will happen? The placental mammals, they reached here. Marsupial ancestor, it also got radiated, and now we have one type of organism over here, that is sugar glider. So, sugar glider has wing sort of thing. It does not wing exactly, but it has something to fly because the habitat which is over here in this geographical area is like that. So the placental one that came, that will also have similar resemblance. So over here, let's see. You had flying phalanger, this is a sugar glider, and in the case of placental mammals, what did you have? You had flying squirrels. So over here, the next species which were originated from the placental mammals were what, children? Flying squirrels. Both of them are flying because the habitat is like that, which is why they are flying. Okay, they got evolved in a way that they will now fly easily over there. Now you have banded anteater. Where is the banded anteater? Anteater, banded anteater, banded anteater. Yeah, here. Numbat, the banded anteater. Over here also they have their own different type of anteater as well. Okay, the placental ones also have their different type of anteater because again the habitat is like that. They, in a way such that both of these organisms which are evolving from very different organisms. So do they have a common ancestor, children? Yes, very back. Okay, they have a common ancestor very back. They are not having same anatomy. They have different anatomies. Okay, they have different anatomies, but if we say they are having the common features, they are having the common features, my dear children. Both of them are anteaters over here. Both of them are able to fly over here. Okay, so don't you think that they are common features? So until now we were talking about divergent evolution where there was a common ancestor. Boom. Okay, you have different type of organism, and these different type of organism that you see over here, okay, they have the different features as well. Physically they have different features, but internally they are all same. Anatomically they are all same. So you call this divergent evolution, and you call these organs as homologous organs. Okay, whenever different functions are there, so different beaks have different functions, so obviously you call this as divergent evolution. Okay, now over here things are different. Over here you see there's a type of organism, there's another type of organism. Both share some common ancestry, some very long back. Okay, now both of them, they are radiating. Okay, individually if I say, I can say that yes, marsupial ancestor is there and it is radiating, it is showing divergent evolution. But when this guy also comes, when both of them are coming together, and over here I say this guy is also evolving into something, this guy is also evolving into something, and both of them have a common function. Now whenever two organisms from different evolutionary background have common functions, you call this type of evolution as convergent evolution. You call this as convergent evolution. They are converging to be same type. They are converging to be same type. So both of them, they have physical features. I am not saying anatomically they are same. They are not same anatomically. They are very much different. Okay, both of them. But physically, if you see both are able to fly, that is similar character. And this is known as convergent evolution, which happens because of the habitat. The habitat forces them to be similar. Over here also this habitat is forcing them to be similar. So basically 2 consecutive adaptive radiations that you see over here would lead to convergent evolution, my dear children. It's a very important thing. It will lead to convergent evolution. So for every this guy you will be having an opposite to this guy also from the placental mammal side also. You get it? There will be difference, but phenotypically the physical character, some of the other things will be same because they are staying in the same habitat. But if we talk about their anatomical features, how do they actually are inside within their body, they are totally different. One is a marsupial, one is coming from marsupial line, other is coming from placental mammals line. So that is how they are different, and this is an example of convergent evolution. Please not get confused. Okay, individually you can say divergent because all of them are diverging. They are having different functions, but they have a common ancestor. But over here we say when two of the things are coming together, we say it's an example of convergent evolution. Works? So let's read it once and then you will understand things better. So when more than one adaptive radiation appeared to have occurred in an isolated geographical area representing different habitats, okay, one can call this convergent evolution. Placental mammals in Australia also exhibit adaptive radiation in evolving into different varieties of such placental mammals, each of which appears to have been similar to a corresponding marsupial, that is placental wolf and Tasmanian wolf marsupial. So over here you see placental wolf is there and Tasmanian wolf is also there. So they have some sort of similarity. Okay, so I'll just sum this up. Listen to me very carefully because I know this would be confusing. I don't want to confuse you even a bit. Okay, when a normal ancestor was there and this ancestor were giving rise to different organism, simply you call this divergent evolution because A guy and A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5 have same anatomy and A6 have same anatomy. Okay, internally they might be same, okay, but they are doing different functions. They are doing different functions. Okay, so basically you have different beaks. One is for insect, other is for cacti. So they have went to different they are doing different functions. Why? Because they are different habitats. Different habitats. Okay, now second scenario, this is the first scenario. Okay, marsupial going around or finches going around. Now we have an example of another thing, that is so this is A again. This is A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. This is happening, this is divergent evolution. But along with it, there are other organisms, B. So there is B5, okay, B4, B3, B2 and B1. Now, over here if you see, ancestor is not the same. So I say convergent evolution. Why? I say they are showing convergent evolution when I talk about both of them. Why? Because ancestor different, okay, or I can say I thought everything went. I won't say ancestor is different. I would rather say that no common anatomy is there. Okay, yes, no common anatomy. Evolutionarily they are different. Okay, evolutionary they are different categories, but over here I find same features, and this is known as convergent evolution. Both of them will have same features, both of them will have same features, both of them will have same features, but are they actually alike? Are they actually like? No, children, they are from different so same ancestors, but they have different lines being formed. So they have differentiated themselves long back. Even though they have same common ancestor, they have differentiated. Evolutionary they are different from each other. Okay, so that is the thing, which is why we say when two adaptive radiation is occurring, we say this is an example of convergent evolution. Okay, I tried to explain you, I hope it works. So you have an example of marsupial and you have the example of placental mammals. Works? Now going ahead, so the first question, try the questions out, okay, and then do let me know in the comment section or anywhere. Okay, I'll be reading it, I'll be reading and telling you the answers, but later on at the end of the chapter, at the end of the class, I'll be discussing the answer by myself also, but this time I want you to try. So the finch species of Galapagos Island are grouped according to their food sources. Which of the following is not a finch food? What is the food that the finch does not eat? You have carrion, you have insects, you have tree buds, you have seeds. Carrion means dead bodies and things like that. Okay, so you can tell me the answer. This came in NEET 2013. There was a recent question from 2021. If I can, I'll put it in mock test. Okay, second question. Okay, Evolution of different species in a given area starting from a point and spreading to other geographical areas is known as adaptive radiation, natural selection, migration, divergent evolution. Okay, when evolution of different species is happening starting from a given area, from a point, particularly from a point, and then moving on to different areas in a geographical area, in a geographical region, what do you call this? Okay, tell me the answer. Now third thing, adaptive radiation refers to, so evolution of different species from a common ancestor, okay, migration of members of a species to different geographical areas, power of adaptation in an individual to a variety of environment, adaptations due to geographical isolation. So that is a tricky question. I hope you find the answer. Okay, try to find the answer for this. Read it very carefully while answering. Okay, going ahead, we have fourth. The diversity in the type of beaks of finches adapted to different feeding habits on the Galapagos Island as observed by Darwin provides evidence for what? So the diversity of beaks that you see over here, what is it acting as an evidence for? Intraspecific competition. What do you mean by intraspecific competition? In the species, within the species, there is some competition that means intraspecific competition. Okay, interspecific competition, that is within different species. So intra means, so this is species A, this is species A. So organisms coming under this 1, 2, 3, if they are fighting, this is known as intraspecific competition. Okay, now this is species A and this is species B and they are fighting, it is known as interspecific. This is interspecific and this is intraspecific. Okay, now origin of species by natural selection, intraspecific variation. So again, this is a tricky question, try to find the answer. Diversity in the type of beaks of finches adapted to different feeding habits on Galapagos Island as observed by Darwin provides evidence for what? Okay, going ahead, fifth question. Yes. Darwin's finches are a good example of what? Industrial melanism, connecting link, adaptive radiation, convergent evolution. It's an easy question, no? It's an easy question. Think about it. This came twice, 2010 and 2008 also. So there are questions that are being repeated, which is why we put lots of effort into studying PYQs, because PYQs, as you know, it's very much important. Right? Okay. Now, can we try solving it? Chalo. Let's try solving it. Each of the questions, but just wait for 1 second. Okay. Okay, let's begin the battle. So, the first question that we have is, what is it? The finch species of Galapagos Islands are grouped according to their food sources. Okay, we know that. Which of the following is not a finch food? Children, finch food. Finches do not eat the dead bodies. So, this is the answer. Okay, insects, tree buds, seeds and everything they eat. So, this is the answer for that. This came in NEET 2013. Second question, let's see who all got it correct. Do let me know if you're getting it correct, okay? Now, evolution of different species in a given area starting from a point. Always remember, keywords, okay? When you are mentioning a point and spreading and everything, just understand it is adaptive radiation, okay? We are talking about adaptive radiation. So, evolution of different species in a given area starting from a point and spreading to different geographical areas, it is known as adaptive radiation, my dear children. So, this is the answer for the question. Next question, adaptive radiation refers to evolution of different species from a common ancestor, okay, migration of members of a species to different geographical areas, okay, second point, no, different geographical areas over here, migration of members of a species to different geographical areas where the, well, basically this is the same geographical area where everything is moving into different habitats, okay, and also they are becoming different species. So, this is not exactly correct. Going ahead, power of adaptation in an individual to a variety of environments, no children. Adaptations due to geographical isolation. Geographical isolation means there is nowhere to move, so I will be just adapting over here. That is what we mean by geographical adaptations due to geographical isolation. This is also wrong. Evolution of different species, you saw. evolution of different species from a common ancestor. This is known as adaptive radiation. So this is the correct answer. I know it might be a little confusing, even I got confused, but yes, we have to go for the exact thing that is given in your NCERT, and this is the exact thing that is given in your NCERT. Okay, now diversity in a type of beaks of finches adapted to different feeding habits on Galapagos Islands as observed by Darwin provides evidence of, when you see different types of beaks, okay, what this act as an evidence of? This acts as an evidence of origin of species by natural selection. Origin of species by natural selection. Nature itself is selecting. We saw cactus is there. So to eat cactus, you have different type of finches with those different type of beaks. So this is nature which is selecting. It's not us. So mutations happened there, variations occurred, and this variations basically help them to survive in that particular area. So this is how different species are getting originated, and this is natural selection's example as well. Naturally the nature is selecting. So your Darwin finches is an example of natural selection also. Okay, it is an example of natural selection also, because why? Because you have different areas, and to adapt to that different areas, you have different type of finches which are getting adapted because they have the features. Okay, so those that have the features will get adapted there. This is a natural selection. Those that do not would not survive over there, will move to some other area. And this natural selection is giving rise to different species as well. You have a species of finches that are feeding on just cactus or nothing else. So that is a different species. So this becomes your answer. Now Darwin finches are a good example of easiest question. It is the easiest question. It is example of adaptive radiation. Don't go and take convergent evolution and come. Okay, when two radiations are occurring together, we say that can be known as convergent evolution. When you are taking both of them together and seeing, if one organism and its evolution is seen, it's divergent evolution itself. Okay, works. Now, are you ready for homework, my dear children? Because yes, without homework things are incomplete. So I'm sure if you are able to understand all the things that I have completed until now, then you will be pakka for sure will be able to answer this question that is given over here. Okay, so the question goes like this: which of the following refer to correct example of organisms which have evolved due to changes in environment brought by anthropogenic actions? What do you mean by anthropogenic actions? We have covered it, but still I'm a teacher, so I have to tell you. Anthropogenic action as in man-made action. Okay, man-made disaster, man-made problem. Okay, man-made action. So that is what you mean by anthropogenic action. So which of the following is an example of the evolution which have resulted because of anthropogenic actions, because of human-made actions? So Darwin finches of Galapagos Island, herbicide-resistant weeds, drug-resistant eukaryotes, man-created breeds of domesticated animals like dogs and everything. Okay, so if you have attended all the videos carefully, if you have listened to that, then you will probably know this answer for sure. So give your luck. Okay, let's see you will get it correct or not. And if you're knowing the answer, whatever the answer is, please comment it down. I want to see it. Okay, please don't think that okay, what will ma'am think of me? But I don't think anything of you. I won't think anything bad of you. If you try, I'll think good of you. Okay, if you're getting it wrong, I'll correct you, and that way you might have this thing stored in your brain forever. Okay, ma'am told this is the answer, and it might just stay there. Okay, but if you do not try, you never know. So I always ask everyone to try. But I do not see you trying, which is actually heartbreaking for me. But as a teacher, I have to teach you, and I'll repeatedly teach you. So that is the thing. And if you think that this video was useful for you, if you think that whatever series we are continuing in this channel is useful for you, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. And I hope that you're not missing out on smiling, you're not missing out on being happy, and you're all good and well mentally and physically both. Okay, so I wish you all the best, my dear children. Bye bye. Have a good day.